Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to Dip in Time. I'm Rhonda, and I'm really glad you decided to pop on in. Now, today I am going to show you a canvas from a company I've never tried before. I know there are members in the community who have tried this canvas, and I've heard good things about it. One of the other reasons why I decided to go with this company is because the canvas I found was one that was perfect for a theme I was looking for May. Now, as you may or may not know, there are a number of events going on for the month of May. Yeah, Rhonda, there's tons of them. Yeah, you're right. There are tons of them. And this is the ones, or these are the ones I'm going to try and participate as much as I can in whatever way that looks like. The events that are going on have to do with mental health awareness. And it's something that is something important to me, to my family, to my friends, and sometimes gets overlooked because it's not visible. It's not a cast on arm. It's not um, hair loss, whether it's from an immune disorder or cancer. It's none of those. So the canvas I decided to do for this one envelops all that um, that kind of emulates me. It has to do with arts and crafts. It has to do with love and acceptance. Because in at Dip in Time, we look at acceptance through curiosity and creativity, where anything goes, where we can try things, and it's about the process, not necessarily the end product. It's being okay to be in the moment. So, what event am I doing this for? Well, there is hashtag I am enough 2024. There is hashtag more than enough 2024. There is just breathe 2024. There is me, myself, and I 2024. There is Phoenix Fantasy 2024. And there is May DP DAC Canada Fans 2024. Now, that's a lot, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I can do all of them. And I also have my J Wall for the J Wall DP along 2024 that I'm working on from last month that continues this month. And my hashtag Dakotathon 2024, which started last month and I'm finishing this month. Well, continues this month. I won't have it finished. So I'm not a person that likes a lot of things in progress without completions. I just get overwhelmed with that. Going, oh, I started all these things and I need to finish. It's also a matter of what can I put on my tables and in my space without feeling that overwhelm, that clutterness, that chaos. Um, so I was able to find some canvases that would work across these events. And I checked with the hosts and they're okay with it. Now, the one I'm going to show you from Cool Deals is not licensed. Okay, so just beware. The majority of my canvases, 95% of my canvases, are all licensed, which means the artist gets recognition and they get compensation for it. This one, I couldn't find a copyright on this image, and that's why I went. And I think it's perfect for May, for me, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this is my canvas. This is from cooldeals.com. And let me show you a close-up of this picture. It is a lady sitting on a bench with a picture of what she's drawing. And she's drawing hearts of all colors with stars and everything else. And I thought this was perfect. This is a 60 by 60. It does have ABs in it. It comes with an inventory sheet. This one has 50 colors. There is 2 pieces of cover. This goes on the top piece, and then there's one on the bottom piece. Now, this is the section I did yesterday. And I have to say, I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased. This is a square. Here is the drill field. She's got a little palette in her hand. And this is the section I did. It really pops. Like, I'm impressed. Like, the canvas background is a little on the mute side. It's not as vibrant. Sometimes you'll get canvases that have like vibrant canvases and you put your drills on it, and some are black and white, like my Josephine wall, just right here. This one is more of a muted color, but look at that. I was quite impressed. So let me bring the camera down. Here we go. So, if I can get, there we go. It really quite pops out, and you can see the shadows on it. So I'm really impressed. Now, the one thing I have noticed, and it's my own personal preference, is when I place my hands over top, I can feel some of them popping up. So you will find more drills in this that have little nubbies on them. They're a little larger than other ones. So you just go through them and find which ones work for you. Right? Okay. And usually you can press them down. If you have a rolly, what did I do with my rolly? Rolly. Here's my rolly. Sorry, as I move across, is I have a little rolly and I press down on it. So what I would like to do is let's do a piece of this together so you can see it. Now there is quite a bit of color blocking in this section here. Color blocking is where all the same colors are in the one section, where this one had different colors within it. Okay. Now there is no dust drills in this. It's mostly ABs and regular drills. So let's do the section here so we have it. So I've got my ceramic tip. I have my pencil. I have my tweezers because this is square. I have my little spout. I don't use anything really big because I'm a confetti person, but I do have some where I need the larger trays. And of course I have my Moo ruler. So let us do a little section of this canvas together. I'm just going to press down gently just to get through the plastic, but not much else. Okay, so it's right there. And then we can peel this up. Oh, so as you see, part of it tore, so I'm going to need to grab that little piece there too as well. And once I peel the piece, I prefer to finish the entire section. That's why I don't do a whole big piece, because otherwise I'm like, how am I going to finish this? So I've got my drills. And let's do this. Okay, so the other thing I normally do is I normally do a bit on the outside. That way I know where the edge is. So we're going to do this one. Oh, this is the AB one. That's the AB one. And I'm not a stickler about it all lining up because I am a single placer. So let's do this and let's have a chat together. Have you guys tried Cool Deals before? This is my first one. And I have to admit, they're sticky. I wish their drills were a little more uniform, but I can't really complain because they're not licensed. And well, like I guess I can make my I guess I can express my opinion and my feedback. But I also want to just be mindful. Because I don't know what they are doing for improvements or what their philosophy is. Whereas I do know some of the other companies I use what their philosophies are. So what you just saw there was me flicking my drills off. That's one thing I notice by when I do my tweezers is when I'm doing it, I will get glue on the edge of them. And then they start picking things up that I'm like, no, 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 I don't want that. So then I have to wipe my tweezers down. And once I get this section done or ready for filling in, it tends to be much faster. So I will get a rhythm going. And I just sit back and I enjoy it. I will usually put an audiobook on or something I can just listen to, a podcast, a show that doesn't require me to actually think. Like when I say, let me rephrase that. I do think when I'm listening, but it requires a different type of listening. It's not where I'm like, okay, I need to remember this and what order does that go in? For those ones, I can't diamond paint at the same time because I'm paying too much attention to the details. Why is a character doing what they're doing? Or if it's silent, what's going on? Do you guys listen to audiobooks or what do you do when you diamond paint? I would love to know. What do you guys do? Do you sit and watch TV? I'm just slowly starting to get comfortable with actually talking and doing this. Like when I work on my J wall, it is quite confetti heavy, and I cannot talk and drill at the same time. I can't. That's just the way it is, and I'm okay with that. And my family is learning that when I'm working on my J wall, please leave me alone, because not because I don't want to talk to them, but because I can't concentrate. If that makes sense, I can't concentrate. It is just taking too much brain power for me to remember which color I'm using where. And so I will change up and switch back and forth to when I'm single placing, where I'm tweezering. When I multi-place like this, I find that it doesn't quite, it has some space in it. And then it eventually bumps it all down. So that's just me. And I also tend to roll my tweezers. Like I put it one place and then I roll it down. I know some people just lift and go, lift and go. I can't do that. So I roll. And then that helps me get the drills into the space I want them in. So I go down and I line up the bottom with the top. I find by doing that also, it helps with maintaining the space between the multi-place drills. What I mean by that is sometimes you'll look at a painting and some drills are really quite close together, and then you can see a gap, and there's usually a pattern to it. That is where somebody has used a multi-placer and they've put them down. So if I have like a 4 multi-placer, let me do this. Okay, I've got 3. And I place them down and I go back and get another 3. There's a gap between the first 3 and the second 3 because of how you're placing your drills with that multi-placer. Now, I am a detail person, especially when it comes to things like this. And I notice that and I don't like that for myself. For myself. Other people are just fine with it. When you actually hang up your paintings or hold your painting the distance that it was made for, you really won't notice the spaces in between. You won't. I notice it when I'm working on it and I don't like it. So I know I need to slow down and I know I need to take the time to place them where I want them. If that means single placing, then it means single placing for me. And I'm okay with that. Some individuals don't like that, and that's fine. Find what works for you. You know how there's that saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's actually what I would recommend with diamond painting. Experiment. Find what works for you. It could be the theme of the paintings. It could be the type of drills, round or square. Do you like confetti? Do you like black and white? Do you like color blocking? Do you like goth? Do you like dark art? Do you like 18 plus? Yes, there are. There are 18 plus canvases out there that are licensed. There are. And if that's what you like, do it. Don't think or worry about what someone else is going to say. Remember, that is just their opinion, and that is just one person. That can be tough, I know. I do the exact same thing. And then I remember that I do this not for the production of the pictures, but for how it makes me feel, how I like watching things come to life, the colors, the calmness of it. If I'm really stressed, my diamond painting will tell me. It will tell me. Because my drills will fly around, my hand shakes. Especially when I work with tweezers, oh my gosh, my drills will fly. They fly. You didn't think drills could fly? They fly. I've had them like hop from one room to the other room. I'm on the floor trying to find them because I've spilt them. I've even gotten one in my eye. And I was like, what? Why is my eye so sore and itchy? It was because I had one of my drills had flung with my tweezers, and I normally take my glasses off when I diamond paint. and it hit me in the eye, and I thought I blinked fast enough, and I hadn't. I was okay. It didn't affect my vision or anything like that. Um, but yeah, when they say diamond drills can be found anywhere, it's true. It's true. My son has found them in his bedroom, which is upstairs. It's not even remotely close to where I am. I'm like, are you trying to steal my drills? You can't have my drills. Give me back my drills. No. Luckily, Dipper doesn't eat them. Dipper is our fur baby. She's our ferret. So luckily she doesn't. She sniffs them. She has to sniff everything. But luckily she doesn't eat them. She'll find one on the floor and she'll go over and she'll sniff it, but that's about it. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Because I don't want to be finding that or going to the vet. That would not be good. So as you see, I am just multi-placing these ones down here. And I am pausing in between because I like them straight. That's just me. Where have you guys, well, okay, let me put it this way. When you have drills, where is the strangest place you have found them? I remember there was a post, and there was a person who had to go into the hospital for surgery. And during the preparation for surgery, apparently a drill was found in their belly button. So they must have been drilling something, and one of the drills came off and somehow managed to find their way into this person's belly button. And they had a laugh about it because at first, and I guess it was a sparkly one too, because the nurse was like, "Oh my God, what is that? Is that a ring?" Because you know you can get belly piercings, right? And they were like, "Is that a piercing?" It was a drill. I was like, "Oh my God, that is funny. That is funny. I will admit that is funny." I have not had that, thank goodness. Um, but could you imagine? I have found them in clothing. I have found them on my legs. I had a pair of leggings that I had put on, and I couldn't figure out why this one spot on my leg was itchy, and there was a lump, just a tiny little lump. I'm like, oh, that must be like a fur ball or like a little lip thing, whatever. It was a drill. So I must have washed my pants, and there must have been a drill somewhere, and it got into my leggings. I sat there and I killed myself laughing, like, oh my God. The other thing, I don't know if it happens to you guys or not, but I will work on a painting and then I put it away. And then a while later, I will find a drill. And I'm like, I know exactly which painting this goes to. Because, yeah, like I have one that has crystals on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know which painting this one's from. I haven't touched this one since like Christmas. And this is like the other day, earlier this week. Like literally, I found a crystal. What did I do with the crystal? Right there. I found this crystal just on the floor. And I'm like, that is from my fairy town from Rose Prophet. This is my diamond painting drills. I was like, that was months ago. Months ago. Like, what the heck? Like, where have you been? So that's probably one where I was on the floor looking for it and gave up. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I guess you don't want to be found. All right. Now, I have friends who, when they drop drills, they don't worry about it. They're like, yeah, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, no, that was a good drill. I was going to use it. I also save my drills because I want to do a painting of all my drills, whether they're perfect or imperfect, and showcase how something that may not fit one thing can fit something else. What I'm going to draw, I have no idea. But what my plan is. So I've been stashing all my drills. Okay, I put that one down too close. There we go. So we're just about finished these ones, and then we'll get into the next color. So this is part of the stool that she's sitting on. And when I'm done in section, I usually go back and take my straightener and straighten where I need to. Oh, there's a drill that's trying to hide. Yeah, you're not hiding. All right, we need L. Here's L. So there's 2 in there. There's 2 in there. No L's up there. There's 4 there. And then there's some on the other side. So I usually take a look before I place all of them, just so I have an idea of where I'm going. And I don't necessarily go in sequence, but I do try and do the single ones, so all I have left is the multi-place ones. And sometimes I use my multi-place to single place. I love 2s and 3s when I put them down. Let's do pay. Because everything is okay. So here's K. Okay, it's a nice burgundy. Not a yeah, burgundy. Okay, so there's quite a few K's in here. So let's start up here. So what else can I talk to you guys about? Well, Dipper. Dipper has been wired this week. Wired. Like, she is like running around the house, doking, which means she is literally like bouncing up and down, hunched. And she'll make this like barking sound. It is absolutely hilarious. She will come and find us so we can play. Ferrets are like cats. They sleep a lot. They're quite independent. They are they are like a pack. So if you think of like wolves or not foxes, wolves, but they are very social creatures. They usually need another ferret for them. We only have the one ferret, which means then you can do one ferret. You just need to spend more time with the ferret. So be prepared if you get one single ferret that you will be spending a good 4 hours a day interacting with. They are very much like toddlers. She's into everything, like everything. She can be such a turd master at times. She can also be a which is, I think, is appropriate for her name. It's like, Dipper, what are you doing? She is visually challenged, so her hearing is very sensitive. And if there is a sound that she is not familiar with, she startles easily. So I'm working on vehicle sounds with her. She does go outside on a leash and a harness and walks around like a cat or a dog. Very much like a cat, she decides where we're going. Um, Unlike cats and dogs, they like to walk up against things more for protection because of like big birds will come, and it's kind of like rabbits, where uh, they can be a prey for other predators. So she definitely likes to walk up against things. So when we go get the mail, I will usually carry her, and she loves to sit in my jacket and curl through my jacket. So I have a very hairy jacket, especially when spring comes, because ferrets do get a winter coat, and then in the springtime they shed. So I've been very hairy lately. I think her winter coat's just about finished. Um, and then she's just this like little tiny thing. She is quite small compared to other ferrets. Females are usually smaller than other ferrets. Um, but even so, compared to other females, she is quite tiny. Um, she is just the cutest little thing. She's got her little black mask across her face. Reminds me of like a raccoon. Her fur is quite soft. Quite soft. Um, we have friends who have ferrets, and they have male ferrets, so even their male ferrets are like 2.5 times the size of what she is. And their hair is it's soft, but it's coarse, where hers is quite soft. So I don't know if it's because of what we feed her, but she's just soft. She is getting more courageous of stepping outside the front door, which is not a good thing. Usually she'll just go to the front door and sit and look out. This last week, she decided, oh, I'm going to go see what the car looks like. And we're like, no. So, of course, there I am on my hands and knees in the parking lot trying to coax Dipper out from underneath our car. And I'm like, oh, come on, Dipper. You can do it. Come on. You're a good girl. Good girl. Yeah. And of course, we have other individuals like, get out of there. And I'm like, that's not helping. Please don't do that. Because I know when I have been startled, yelling at me does not help. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if I met anybody who is great at being startled and going, okay, I'm coming. Um, so yeah, we got her out. We put her back inside, and everything was fine. But I think something. Oh yeah, that was last Saturday. That was last Saturday because we were going to Eric's baseball game, his first baseball game of the season. And I normally am unable to go because usually his games are outside of the city, and I need to stay home with Dipper. And then I get the updates. So Saturday I went, and this was the day she was like, nope, I'm going to go outside. I'm like, oh, please don't do that. So something must have, while we were gone that day, because he had a double header, something that day must have spooked her, because when we came home and went up the stairs, she had gone to the bathroom on the landing. It's carpeted, but it's a landing. And I'm like, what? No, that's never. She's never done that before. Never. So something must have spooked her. Um, Usually, if we don't give her enough attention, we have to go out somewhere, she will go to the bathroom in the wrong spots as a way of saying, screw you. She definitely does have an attitude. Um, and she, like I said, she's a cute little thing. I never thought I would ever have a ferret. My brother had one and brought it over when my daughter was young. And it used to chase my daughter and try and nip her. And she did not like them. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. Maybe I'm not a ferret person. Then 2 years ago, when we were looking at getting an animal to adopt, um, dogs are not allowed where we live, and we need to be careful with cats because my son has on or off allergy to animal dander. So I was looking, and we've had hamsters. So I was looking more like a guinea pig, sugar glider, rabbit, doing my research. And we'd walked into the pet store, and my husband turns and looks at me and goes, can we get this one? And I'm like, get what? He's like, the ferret. Can we get the ferret? And I'm like, a ferret? And sure enough, she was literally in her cage, up, looking at him. We went over and took a look at the ferret, at Dipper, and we like held her, and she was the sweetest thing. She would climb up our coats and sit in our hoods on the back. It was the sweetest thing. And we said, okay, well, let's think about it. Let's do our research back. And um, again, she was sitting there looking at us, and when we went and held her, she climbed up on top of us and sat in our hoods, went through our jackets. We brought her son in to see if he would have a reaction. And apparently, ferrets are one of the animals that if people have allergies, are okay with. So we're like, okay, well, this might work. It's larger, we might be able to do more interaction with the ferret. And so she came home with us, and yeah, she picked us. She picked us. And it's funny because when my son is home, she goes to find him and hangs out with him. She will sleep in his room, and she'll go follow him. She's just like a dog in that regard. She will follow. She'll wait till he gets home from school, and she will come down, meet him, sniff all his stuff. And when he goes upstairs to his room, she follows him. It is very cute. Similar to cats, though, she decides if she's going to come to you when you call her, whereas a dog, you can train them to come. Dipper will do handshakes. She will turn around. She will roll over. She sometimes comes when you call her. So she is like that with a dog, so you can train them. She is litter trained. They are like toddlers, so they have a very short attention span. They do. Um, and she's into everything. I'm like, what are you doing? No. But she needs to snack. So the other day, my husband and I came home, And I wasn't sure if my son had got her up yet or not. And I'm like, I wonder if they're up yet. And then I heard a noise off to my right, like where I am right now. There was a noise off to the right, and I'm looking at the ground, and I'm like, "Is that Dipper?" And then all of a sudden, I see this head. She had climbed up onto my desk and had climbed into the drawers, and she must have been sleeping in there because all I saw was this head poking out because she had heard us. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is funny. I'm like, and how did you get up there? I'm like, okay, we don't want to encourage that, but that was funny. So it's kind of like when you have a toddler and it's like, oh my God, that was so funny, but no, that's not a good thing. So you got to just be careful with what you say to them. It's funny. But yeah, you definitely need to have patience because they will get into everything. Um, she absolutely loves pants or shirts, sweaters, anything that has like a what can be made into a tunnel. Ferrets like to burrow. So I'm like, okay. So I have an old pair of jeans that she uses as her playing tube. And in the morning we have a set routine where I get up, she wakes up, and then I play with her. Literally, I play with her. And then we get breakfast and we play a little more until she's fine. And then she just like, okay, I'm done. And she walks away. And you're like, okay, we're good. So it is. It's very much like a toddler. Um, if you don't have patience for small children and go, 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 then I would say really think about it if you want to fit. Now remember, we only have the one, so that's why I spend time and play with her like I do. If if you have like a pack of them, they will play by themselves, um, and then they come and find you when they want to, when they want some like cuddles or attention from a human. I just noticed I missed a couple here, so I'm just gonna place those in there. There's the K. I missed one up there as well. And that's part of the reason why I like to try and do the edge so I know where I'm stopping. There we go. So we have a couple of P's, a couple of N's. And if it's just a few of them, I'm just going to grab my container and grab them from there. So do you guys have pets? What kind of pets do you have? I know we've had hamsters. We have had mice, pet mice. We have had fish. We have had cats. We have had dogs. There's another K down there. Um, I know my sis. Oh, I had budgies, birds. Birds are messy. Um, and they're social animals too. I know one of our other members in the community is getting a baby bird shortly, if not already. I am so looking forward to meeting this little one. Oh, I love animals. I do. Um, we had not as pets, but as in backyard, we had some mallards in the backyard the other day. a pair of them, a male and a female. I will have to share a picture of that. I am still not familiar with adding pictures and stuff like that to my videos. That is something I will work on. Okay, where's my straightener? It's not here. Okay, well, I will straighten you later. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just like, no, that's not straight enough for me. Maybe I can just use my single tip and then press it down. And let's just finish this up. Yeah, so what kind of pets have you guys had? What kind of pets do you have? If you could only ever have one type of pet, what kind of pet would that be? I don't know what kind of pet I would have. Okay, so these ones are all done. And yeah, and then when I was very young, my grandmother on my dad's side had a farm. So we had cows, we had chickens. I don't remember horses. I remember the cat. I remember the cats. I remember the dogs. I remember the chickens and the cows. I was 5, so um, we had apple trees. We had a wood burning stove. So we didn't have heat. We actually had to go out and get coal, and we had to get wood. Actually, that's 2 places we had. Um, when I was about 5, we lived in a small little town and we didn't have heating. We actually had a furnace that had coal. So we actually would have to go get coal and put it in the furnace. So we had a coal chute. And if we ever got locked out, we would just go through the coal chute to get in to the basement and then go back upstairs and unlock the door. I remember because I was the youngest of the kids, the older kids would throw me in the chute because I was tiny. So I remember that. That I do remember. Okay, so this is what I've gotten done thus far. We're close to 45 minutes here. So what I will do is I will finish this section and I will share it with you guys. Most of them feel like they're actually in. That's good. I'll either use my fingernail or get my rolly and press on up. I'll get my rolly since I have it. So that's part of the stool that she's on. I'm really glad you guys popped in. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation today. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for popping on in and being here. I would like to ask if you guys would consider subscribing. If you have already, thank you so, so much. And if you are new here, welcome. Please let me know what kind of pet you have, what kind of pet you would have if it was only one pet you could have, and tell me what canvas you're working on. I hope you guys have a lovely remainder of your day wherever you are, and I've quite enjoyed spending some time with you. So until then, I will see you soon, raccoons. Bye.